Alright, so this video is just on how to stock your tank and the steps you need to take to stock it. So first thing is the actual size of the fish, how big it's going to get. I mean, first things first, the fish has to have enough room to swim around in the tank. It's full grown size. So I mean, most fish you get are a few inches, but they can grow up to 20 inches in your tank. So you have to know what the potential size is. I mean, now don't get a fish that can grow 20 inches and put it in a 10 gallon and say to yourself, I'm going to upgrade it at some stage. Because they'll grow, they grow quite big in less than a year, in a few months. So it never really works out. So that's the first thing, always make sure there's enough swimming room. Now the next thing is the amount of fish. That depends on two things. Your filtration and how much water changes you're willing to do. Those two things. It doesn't matter, I mean, you can put 30 fish in a tank that has enough swimming room for them if you have enough filtration and you're willing to do enough water changes. And I'll tell you why. Because what the filtration does, you have to have enough to handle the bioload in the tank. So first I'll just, so fish will shit and that creates ammonia, which changes into nitrite. Those two things are harmful. Now what a filter does, it harbours beneficial bacteria which eats the nitrite and changes into nitrate, which isn't that harmful. That's really the basics of it. So you need a big enough filtration surface area for the bacteria to grow to eat the nitrate and convert it. So that's the idea. So the more fish you have, you need the bigger filter with more surface area and more flow, because flow creates oxygen, which the bacteria needs to grow. That's really it. So yeah, so the more fish you have, you need more filtration. But the thing with nitrates is, though, low levels is fine, but at high levels it's fairly toxic and bad for your fish. So if you have a big filter and lots of fish, it's still going to create lots of nitrates quickly. So that's where the water changes come in. That's when, I mean, and the way to know how much water you have to change, I mean, this is always debated on how much water you have to change. Just test your water every week. And if the nitrates are too high by the end of the week, it means you have to change more water. It's fairly simple. Because people will say they changed 15% and it was fine, and I asked them what are the nitrates like, and they have no idea. So the way to know is to actually test your water. So yeah, that's it. So you have to have enough filtration to handle the bioload and do enough water changes to take out the nitrates. And then of course plants will also eat nitrates, but up to a point. I mean, you still have to test your water. That's really it. Just test your water. And that's it. I think I said that's it enough times. So yeah, I think there are the three things you have to look out for, which is size of the fish in the swimming room, big enough filtration to handle bioload, and the water changes. Now, they're kind of the basics, and then after that you get into the territory of certain fish. Some fish are territorial, they'll need more territory, like for example betta as well. I mean, in a 5 gallon, this is my 5 gallon here, usually they're quite aggressive, but what I did here is lots of plants and breaks the line of sight, so I can have these little gobies in here. They are tiny little things, so see, they have enough swimming room in here and enough territory themselves. Works out great, and I do enough water changes to handle the bioload, so that's really it. And for example, then you have cichlids. I mean, sure, you can research that yourself, but it's all, you know, they might be able to have enough swimming room in a tank, but not enough territory, and they'll attack other fish, so that's, you have to kind of research yourself how aggressive they are. But yeah, I think that's it. So hope that was helpful, and I'll see you.